gusto ko. En dan kom ons, ja, ons sal wat middel toe. En ons sal peren en hulle soort ons uit wat ons wil hê. Dis al wat ek kan sê.
That was Mr. Williams with Agan, who reckons Cart Horse is his family. Hello everyone, Karen and Marika here from the Cart Horse Protection Association, and you are watching Coffee with Cart Horse. Thank you for tuning in. Mandela Day was actually very quiet this year, but thank you to the Greater Linfrey Community Association for donating 1,600 Rand to us, and to Marty's Equestrian Club for donating 800 Rand. Thank you so much for your support. Hopefully next year we can go out again and fix a stable or two. Please turn those likes and shares into rands and cents. No donation is ever too big or too small. We would like to give a big shout out to all our donors for believing in our mandate, and together we look after the hard-working cart horses. And thank you once again to Precious Ali for always donating to our Coffee with Cart Horse program. Today's episode is sponsored by Colesdale Equine and Farrier Supplies, where we buy our shoes for the horses. They are located in the Gallery Centre, Montague Gardens. All their internet reviews are 5 stars, and Leslie is an absolute darling to deal with. Please support our supporters. If you wish to sponsor an episode for just 500 Rand, please contact me on the email on your screen. I would love to hear from you. Today's lineup: Theo and Manifa, what overloading looks like, Piccadilly arriving at the R&R, and confiscating Fair Lady. Although Manifa is one of the tallest horses in the karting industry, she is not the biggest or the strongest. Theo sometimes really struggles to keep her body condition up to standard, and has tried to negate this by making her a special cart. He made this cart smaller and lighter so that she has less weight to pull. Her condition has really improved because of this.
Theo Julie, dat my karrentjie bietjie ligter gemaak. Die houtjies dunner gemaak, planke lekker. Volgens my peet se lyf wat ek peet ja, lyf nou alone nie. Bankietjie opgesit, mooi gepyn. Liewer tussen boom opgesit. Uisterweekies mooi klein gemaak. Net vir die peet, so vir om lekker te wees.
So hierdie wa bietjie ligter gemaak.
Ja.
En seker gemaak hy's lekker vir die perd.
Ja. So moet 'n peertjie so waai.
Dankie.
Albei ook lekker.
Dankie Theo.
Well done there. What a beautiful cart. Folks, we receive many complaints about overloaded carts, and sometimes it can be very hard to judge whether a cart is in fact too heavy for the horse that is pulling it. The easiest way to tell is to watch the horse try to pull away or stop. If it has trouble pulling away or stopping the cart, then the load is too heavy. If it pulls away or stops the cart with ease, then the load is probably okay. Horses are quite strong and can pull a fairly heavy load. If a car is on the cart and it is only the hull without the chassis and engine and chairs and everything else, they can actually manage it. If the horse is in good condition and the cart pulls straight, the load on the horse is also less. The cart itself makes a big difference to how easily the horse can pull a load. The majority of carties here in Cape Town use wooden flatbed carts that they can most easily load the scrap on. The carts themselves weigh about 250 kilograms, and this should be taken into account when we decide whether or not the load is too heavy for a horse. When the cart's tires are pumped and they run in a straight line, it goes a long way to making the cart easier for the horse to pull. The four-wheel design means that none of the weight actually rests on the horse's back, as would be the case with a two-wheeled cart. But it means the front wheels have to be attached to a turning system to make it easier for the horse to turn in the cart.
Folks, if you've just tuned in, you are joining Karen and I on Coffee with Cart Horse. We have had a very successful Mandela Day, and since that's over, and we know that everyone is struggling towards the end of the month, we'd like to remind you of one way that you can help us that doesn't cost you anything. You can register for your My School, My Village, My Planet card online, and you can select Cart Horse as one of your beneficiaries. And every time you swipe, we get some money. So, this is a very easy way that you can donate to us and help our cause without it costing you anything. It's a really wonderful program, and the people from my school are very helpful and very friendly. So do log in, register for your card, and start swiping today.
Yo, Julie.
That's okay.
Sure, he's quick. Sorry, as I was saying, Piccadilly has loaded. He's going to our R&R, our Rehabilitation and Recovery Centre, to retire. And the whole family is saying goodbye to Piccadilly. It's a very special horse. Okay, we just arrived at the R&R. We're going to offload Piccadilly. And have a nice roll. Of course. Oh, nice. Thanks, George.
This plucky little grey pony has been a fixture on the streets for many, many years. According to our calculations, he must be about 23, 24 years old, and he has gone by at least 3 different names and even more owners. Piccadilly spent the last and largest part of his life with Mr. Gladstone Solomons, aka Opa, and he was well loved by everyone in the family, as you could see in the video. Piccadilly has quite the mind of his own and is a feisty little guy. Vets that tried to treat him had to be extremely wary of his hoof, both front and back. And if you missed a vein the first time, he wasn't going to give you a second chance to inject him. After many years of service, Mr. Solomons decided the best place for his beloved Piccadilly to be would be at our Recovery and Rehabilitation Centre in Gordons Bay. The deep love he has for his owner was quite evident as he pined for Gladstone for the first few days after arriving, but has since perked up a little bit and is enjoying his retirement so far. Our next story is quite an interesting one. Our general manager, Penny, and myself were driving home on the 16th of July when we both noticed a thin, tired, and overloaded horse being whipped by the driver. Oh my goodness, we both then pursued the cart in our cars. The driver ignored us and carried on driving. We continued to follow him when a police van pulled up behind me. Penny jumped out of her car and told the policeman the driver was abusing the horse struggling a few cars down by now. Well, their sirens went on and they followed the cart and pulled it over right in front of the Elsie's River police station. Penny had in the meantime called our inspectors who also arrived at the scene. Fair Lady was in a terrible state and was immediately told to spunate by Inspector Melanie. Fair Lady just stood there bewildered and it was very, very heartbreaking to see. But never being boxed before, she loaded without a second thought. The driver, with all his excuses, was not impressed. He had to pull his own load home himself. It was an incredible joint effort getting Fair Lady off the road, even if she was an unregistered horse. Animal abuse will not be tolerated. She's getting all the love and care she needs at the R&R. Thank you once again to Colesdale for sponsoring this program. And if you've missed any of our episodes, you can access them on our Facebook page or YouTube channel. There is something for everyone. You can see where your donations are going to, and also a great platform to educate you on what it is that we also do. And as I always said, your donations are never too big or too small. We'll see you again on the 10th of August. And until then, be safe and take care.